Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello dear students and welcome to CET JEE classes of limits, and we are in the question number 9 of the examples. Now let me give you the formula on the outset. Limit of a raised to x minus 1 divided by x if you have. Alright, so if you have a situation of this type, then the answer is log a to the base e, and if you have e raised to x, then it will be log e, which is 1. Alright, so these are the two formulas you must remember for the questions of the questions based on exponential. Alright, so this is also question based on exponential, and even this 2 raised to x you have got there. So now we have to arrange the given expression in this form so that we can use the formula. So you should have 1 here, okay, you should have minus 1, and you need minus 1 here as well. I think you remember a question similar to this. Okay, we added 1 and subtracted 1 there, so that's the thing we are doing here. So let's begin. First, limit x tends to 0, 3 raised to x, I will subtract 1, and then 2 raised to x and I will add 1, alright, and divided by x, let it be like that. So now what shall we do next? We need to have 3 raised to x minus 1 divided by x, and we need x there as well. So this is subtraction, this is not multiplication. You don't have to have one more x, so don't multiply by x and divide by x, don't do that. We can just separate it because it is subtraction there. So limit x tends to 0. See, this is 3 to the power x minus 1 divided by x, and I am taking minus common. So if I take minus common, what remains here is plus 2 raised to x, and this will be minus 1. So, and I am just splitting the numerator. So I take the denominator here and I take the denominator to the second term as well. So when you write it together, you can write that x only once. That is like taking the LCM. Okay, so this is not multiplication, this is subtraction. Please bear that in mind. Well, now you are at the liberty of using the formula limit x tends to 0, a raised to x minus 1 divided by x, and you can write 1 in that place. So you got not 1, I am sorry, it is log a. It will be 1 if you have e raised to x. Okay, so that is log a. So what is a in this place, in this expression? A is 3, right? So the answer when you apply the limit to this will be log 3, and when you apply the limit here, it will be log 2. So you will get log 3 minus log 2, and if you need more specific, then you can apply the limit separately. See, if you have limit of f of x minus g of x, you can write it as limit of f of x and minus limit of g of x. That means we can apply the limit separately. So I will write that step for you. Minus limit x tends to 0, 2 raised to x minus 1 divided by x. Well, now you can perfectly use that formula. So what shall we write here? So we can write log 3 and minus log 2 to the base e, obviously. Okay. Now what is log x minus log y? It is log x by y. So therefore this is log 3 by 2. So, this is log 3 by 2, which is that option. Option C is the right answer for this particular question. Now, let us move to the question number 10. Alright, once again we have to use the same formula, okay, and look at the formula. You must have x tends to 0. Well, see, as x tends to 0, can you say that sin x tends to 0 as well? Yes, because when x becomes 0, sin 0 will be 0, correct. So, as x tends to 0, sin x will tend to 0. So, that particular situation can be written as limit sin x tends to 0, a raised to sin x, and what you must have here, sin x, then you can write log e. Alright, so please understand this, otherwise I will take a substitution, okay, I will take a substitution, that would be better for you to understand. So, what I do is I will take sin x is equal to y. Now, as original limit is x tends to 0. So, as x tends to 0, what happens to y? Y also will tend to 0. Y is nothing but sin x, and when x becomes 0, that will be sin 0. So, y will be 0, correct. So, our new limit is y tends to 0, and in place of sin x, I will write y. Alright. So, this is like question number 10. Y tends to 0 in place of x tends to 0, and a raised to y minus 1 divided by b raised to y minus 1. Okay. Now, what else do you need in order to apply the formula? If you have a raised to x minus 1, you must have x in the denominator. So, if you have a raised to y minus 1, you must have y in the denominator here and as well as here. So, divide the numerator by y, divide the denominator also by y. So, that is the next step. So, limit y tends to 0, a raised to y minus 1 divided by y whole divided by b raised to y minus 1 divided by y. Now, when you apply the limit, this part will be log a, correct. You can have any variable, you can have x, you can have y, you can have z, whatever, that does not matter, you will get log a, that is based on this number. So, that is a, and here you will get log b. So, the answer of this will be log a divided by log b, and that is in the option B. Therefore, option B is the right answer. I hope you understood this. I did not write the step of taking the limit separately, okay. So, please understand that well. Now, let us move on to the 11th question. In the 11th question, you have got x and then 2 raised to x and minus x. See, what you can do here is you can take x common, okay. So, we will take x common first. Why are we doing that? Once again the same reason, alright. So, the formula is a raised to x minus 1 divided by x is log a. So, in order to use this formula I need 1, no? So, I will take x common, I will get 1 there, okay. So, if I take x common, you see I will get 2 raised to x minus 1 divided by 1 minus cos x as it is. Okay. So, I almost got this, but I need x in the denominator. So, what can we do? We have to multiply and divide. So, I will multiply by x and this is 2 raised to x minus 1 divided by x. Okay. So, what I am doing here, I am multiplying by x and dividing by x in the numerator, and denominator I am not doing anything right now. So, that is 1 minus cos x itself. Next, say what is this x square, I will take that to the denominator, and why I am doing that, Because I have a formula that says limit x tends to 0, 1 minus cos px divided by x square if I have, then that will be p square by 2. Okay, so 1 minus cos px. Here I have 1 minus cos 1x, right, and what I should have in the denominator, x square, which I have. Okay, so next see, this is limit x tends to 0, x square, and here 2 raised to x minus 1 divided by x divided by 1 minus cos x is there, right. So I will multiply by x square and divide by x square. So what happens here is this x square gets cancelled. Well, so now I have a perfect situation of applying these two formulas. Okay, so here the answer will be log 2, correct, because a is 2, and in this place p is 1. Therefore, if there is p, answer is p square by 2. Now if you have 1 there, it will be 1 square by 2, which is half 1 by 2. Well, so this is equal to log 2 upon taking the limit. Okay, so I am not writing that limit separately, directly going for the formula, and this is 1, therefore 1 square by 2, and that is equal to log 2 divided by half. What happens to this 2? That will go to the numerator. You have to take the reciprocal of it, correct, when you take it to the numerator. So that will be 2 log 2. So which tells me that option A is the right answer. I hope you understood. We just have to use these two formulas. So all these problems based on limits are manipulations in order to apply the suitable formula. Okay, so you have to identify which formula to use. So if you have exponential, use this. If you have 1 minus cos px by x square, then use that. If you have sin x, then sin x by x formula is there. If you have tan 4x, tan x, tan mx and all that, you have tan x by x formula. So all those formulas must be kept in mind. Well, so let's move to the next set of problems.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.